Hello, welcome everyone to Java programming. Today we are going to discuss about object-oriented programming. Okay, object-oriented programming. In brief, we say OOP. Okay. Procedural programming is about writing procedures or methods that perform operations on data. On the other hand, object-oriented programming is all about creating objects, and these objects contains both data and methods. Okay, and every class actually consists of properties and behavior. Properties are attributes, fields, okay, variables, and behaviors are methods. We already discussed about attributes, properties, fields, and also methods. Okay, now without further ado, let's go to do our practical. Okay, I just go to src folder, src/main/java, and create a package and name it OOP. What's wrong with it? It's not being typed. What's wrong? Oh my goodness. Just a minute. Alright, it's now working. Okay, so we name it OOP, Object Oriented Programming. Okay, and this is our folder. Actually, this is Java Basic and this is Object Oriented Programming. And inside the object-oriented programming package, we are creating Java class. Let's name it car. The name of the class is car. Okay, and we check in public static void main. Entry point of any Java programming language is main method. Click on finish, and car class has been created, and class is keyword. To create new class, any class, we need class keyword, and public also a keyword. We call it access modifier. Modifier can be two types. One is access modifier and another one is non-access modifier. Okay, access modifiers are four types. Okay, these are public, it can be also default, private, and protected. Okay, and these are access modifiers, and we have also non-access modifiers. These are modifiers. These are, what's wrong? and these are like final, okay, and some other. Okay, we can create another video in details about this. Let's focus on object-oriented programming. Okay, why object-oriented programming? Object-oriented programming, we use object-oriented programming because object-oriented programming provides a very clear structure for the programs. Very clear coding or structures. Okay, it's more readable, and faster and easier to run the program or executes. All right, and it helps to avoid repetition. Okay, helps avoid repetition of codes. In programming we use dry. The word dry means don't repeat yourself, and it makes the code easier to maintain, modify, and reusable. Actually, it is possible. We can say OOP makes codes reusable. Okay, it's very important. We can create full reusable applications with less coding or programming. All right, these are the reason why object-oriented programming is worth. Okay, what are classes and objects? Now come to the point. Classes are nothing but blueprints. Okay, blueprints to create objects. Actually, class and object are two main elements of object-oriented programming. Without class, without object, we cannot think about object-oriented programming. Okay, classes and objects are the two main aspects of object-oriented programming. Now let's try to make it understandable. Okay, say for example, I say class is blueprints. Okay, since it is blueprints, we can say class is a logical entity and object is both logical and physical entity. Right? Good enough, I think. Now let's see how we can create objects from class. Now let's excuse me, let's declare some variables. String name, okay, and string string profession and integer h double salary. These are nothing but variable, right? Variables are nothing but container or boxes where we can store data. Okay, inside the name we can store name of any person. Okay, inside the profession we can store, actually if we want we can store here like a robot. Okay, just a name. But since we already learned constructors in Java in the last session, I want to practice with constructor. Okay, because constructor is used to set or initialization or initialize or define the values for properties or variable fields or attributes. So we can use constructor, and constructor is nothing but special method that is we used to set initialization or define the attributes value. Okay, so these are variable. At the same time we can call this properties. Okay, we can call it attributes and we can call it also fields. All right, now every object has two characteristics. One is states and another one is behavior. Okay, behavior. These are the states of car class. Car might not have profession. It can be price. It can have price. Okay, and it can have make year. Okay, that's good enough to understand with examples. Okay, so these are states. Okay, and behaviors are nothing but capability of a car or any object can do something. Okay, this is action oriented. Methods are action. What is method? Methods are block of codes that only executes or runs when they are called by name. Okay, and we create method for specific purpose to serve specific purpose. Okay, I can create method with void, can say display. This is method. And in the last video we already discussed different types of methods. It can be user-defined method, it can be built-in method or inbuilt method, and user-defined method can be static method, non-static method. We already know all these things, so I don't want to repeat. Okay, and I can say CISO control space bar, and this is user defined method. Okay, all right. Now method can be more than one. Actually, as per your requirement, you can create unlimited method, n number methods. Okay, now these are variable, these are properties. Okay, and these are behaviors are methods or method, and these are states, and states are properties, attributes, fields. Okay, properties of what? Properties of class. Method of what? Method of class. Okay, we are writing or coding these properties inside the car class, and this method also inside the car class, and this main method also inside the class. Okay, so what we find inside the class, we find states and behaviors and main methods. Main method will be only one. Okay, now we cannot access all these states and behavior, properties, attributes, and fields directly from main method. If we want to access them, we have to create object. But if method is non-static, we cannot access, we have to create object. This is non-static. But method is, if method is static void I can say run method. Okay, so control space bar, this is static method. Method is block of codes that only executes when it is called by name. Now if I call this name method, okay, it's showing red mark, meaning we cannot access it, right? If I execute it, exception in thread main cannot make static reference to the non-static method. All right, because this is non-static. This is non-static, but this is static. You can access static method without creating any object. We already learned it. You see, there is no error. If we execute it, we will find we can access it. You see, this is static method. This is static. Which one? This is static method. Static. Because it is static, we don't need to create object for it, but we need to create object for it to access the properties. We need to create. We even cannot access the properties. Okay, we cannot. You see, we cannot, because we have to create object to access all these properties too. To access all the properties and methods, we have to create object. So purpose of creating object is to access all the state and behavior, properties, attributes, fields, variables, and methods. We want to access and use them. Okay, clear? Okay, now how we can create object? We just copy the car class. Before we create object, we create constructor. Okay, how we create constructor? The name of the constructor and the name of the class will be the same, so it will be car actually. And we can set price equal to 40,000, 40K. Okay, name of the car. Okay, name is Honda, say for example, and make year. Actually price is actually integer. Okay, this way we can initialize the property value or attributes value. The best way is just right button click here. Okay, just after the variables or properties, I can just right button click, go to source and click on generate constructors using fields. This fields I already made it. Okay, I declare it already. Then just click on generate button and constructor has been created. Okay, so we didn't need to type it, code it, or program it. We generate shortcut. How? Again, I can show you. Even you can just click here, okay, inside the package explorer or project explorer, and go to source and generate constructors. Okay, already check in, so I don't need to do it. Where is it? You see, sometimes it happens. It's here. Okay, I can copy and just paste here. Okay, or I can just right button click here and go to source, generate constructor using fields, generate, and it is at the right place now. Okay, so when we generate from here, sometimes it might go down or up. Okay, now we have super keyword, and this super keyword is indicating that we are using this properties variables from class. These are class variable, class properties, but these are local scope, local variable. These are, we call them parameters. Okay, parameters. Now we want to create object. To create object, I just copy the name of the class. Okay, actually I can type it. I just want to show you car and car1. Okay, whenever I type new keyword and name of the class, parenthesis and semicolon, okay, a new object is created. New object is created. This is new object, but car1 is reference variable to the new object. Okay, it's indicating, pointing to new object, new car, and this new car object has been created from class, this class. Okay, so we can create n number object. Okay, now we can assign the values for name, price, and make year. Name of the car is Honda. Okay, then actually we can create objects without using constructor. I showed you in the previous video. Okay, then price is like 80k. Okay, 80k. This is integer, and make year is 2000, very latest one. Okay, now I want to create more objects. I just press on Ctrl Alt then down arrow, and it will be copied. Okay, then car2, car3, car4, and name will be different. Now value will be different for second object. It's like Toyota, and price is 40, model is 21, make year, and this is 19, make year, and this is 20, and this is 125k. I don't know the price of Tesla or Telsa. I don't know even the spelling. Tesla, I guess. Okay, and this is BMW. Okay, now how we can access it? We couldn't access here, so I want to access it now by the reference variable to the new object. Reference variable is car1 dot name. Now I can access it. It's not C1, this is car1, right? Now see, I can access it. Okay, if I run it, there is Honda. Okay, and even we can access now display method with car1. Okay, because this display is non-static, and to access non-static method we have to create object. All right, wonderful. We can now access everything, whatever we want. Now if you want to just, I type C, so control spacebar, I want to show you this is car1 dot. Now see, when I am just using the reference variable to the first object, new car, and just put dot operator, I can access all the methods and properties here. Say for example I want to access the price, I can access it. And now I want to access the make year of the car, car1. You see, make year is right here. Okay, now I can execute it. Let's test it. Wonderful. Okay, now what I can do is I can copy all this and also access the second object using the reference variable car2 that's pointing to the second object, this object. Okay, now same way, now we can access object 3 with the reference variable object 3 is car3. All right, wonderful. Okay, even if I want to differentiate, maybe I can just print all stars and just copy it. Okay, now let's execute it again. Wonderful, you see. Okay, now this is car class. Okay, now object oriented has 4 principles. OOP has 4 principles. One is inheritance and encapsulation, abstraction, and polymorphism. Okay, so these are very important concepts in object-oriented programming. Let me try to discuss inheritance first. I want to keep under 1 hour. If we can't complete within an hour, maybe later on I can discuss about encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, method overloading, method overriding, and interface. Okay, all right, now this is car class. Now say for example I have another class and name of that class is Mercedes. Say for example Mercedes, I don't know the spelling exactly, Mercedes. Okay, so Mercedes is another class. Now Mercedes is subordinate class and car is the base class, main class or parent class, and Mercedes is the child class. Now what is inheritance? Inheritance is very important concept. In Java programming, it is very possible to inherit all the properties, attributes, and methods from one class to another. Child class can inherit from parent class. Okay, and we group the inheritance concept into 2 categories. Yes, I mentioned base class and subclass, parent class and child class, or superclass and subclass. Okay, superclass is parent class, and to inherit from superclass or parent class we use the keyword extends. Okay, I said in Java programming, in Java it is very possible to inherit attributes and methods by child class from superclass, parent class. Okay, from one class to another. Okay, and superclass or parent class and child class is called subclass. Alright, and to inherit from a class, we use the extends keyword. Let me put it inside quotation mark, extends. All right, okay, better we let's try to understand it by example. Okay, so Mercedes extends car, meaning this Mercedes child class is inheriting from car. Okay, what's wrong? Implicit super constructor car is undefined for default constructor, must define an explicit constructor. Implicit super constructor car is undefined. Okay, this is explicit, we can see it, and implicit is actually when Java by default create constructor. Okay, if we don't create, Java itself will create constructor and it will be implicit, it cannot be seen, but we create it and this is explicit. Okay, now what it is saying is implicit super constructor car is undefined for default constructor, must define an explicit constructor. Okay, implicit super constructor car is undefined and must define an explicit constructor. Okay, Mercedes okay, now what do we have to do? We have to what are the properties we have? Let's see, we have name, price, and make here, but Mercedes class doesn't have all these properties. The concept of inheritance is without creating properties and methods for this car, whatever we have created inside the car, the properties and method, we can access them, we can inherit them. Okay, let me say int model. Okay, just model, and I want to generate constructor, and we have only one field, and that is model. Okay, only I have model, but you see Mercedes has not only created constructor and not set initialization for model, okay, it's also inheriting name, price, make, year from car constructor. Okay, now maybe I'm making a little complicated. I could make it simple without creating constructor. Okay, however, that's fine. If you can understand it, it will be really a big achievement that you understand this far. Okay, now let's create object. Okay, to inherit everything we have to create object, and object of Mercedes. Okay, so where is Mercedes class? So child class, we are creating object for child. Mercedes Mer equal to new Mercedes parenthesis n semicolon. Okay, now what is the price for what is the name? Let's say name of the car is Mercedes. $102. Okay, and price is 200k. Okay, make year is 2022, and model is NY2022. Model is 21. Okay, now we didn't create all this, we didn't declare name, price, make, year, etc. We are inheriting it from here. Okay, and we are inheriting it, creating constructor. Okay, and to inherit from car we use extends keyword. All right, now I can say name, Marwan name. Okay, I can access CISO, control spacebar, dot price, and this way we can access everything. Okay, even if we want to access the methods, we can also access the, you see, display method. Okay, and we have another method, right? Display and static, this is run method, and we can access also run method. Okay, run is static, so I don't need to use a reference variable of the object. You see, we didn't create any method here, still we can inherit, access the methods from parent class, and this way even we can access from grandchild class. Okay. Okay, I don't want to make this video so big. And what is encapsulation? Encapsulation is nothing but to make codes private. Okay, we can wrap within methods, and we can encapsulate, like I can say private void private, and now you see we cannot access them. Even if we make it private, okay, it's not public anymore, private, now we cannot access them. You see, method display from the type car is not visible because it is private. Okay, private, where we encapsulate within a method. Okay, why we do it? To secure our sensitive data. We do it so that anyone from other class outside of this class cannot access our sensitive data. Okay, data is invaluable. All right, and now how we can achieve it? To achieve it, we have to use getters and setters. Okay, I want to stop here, and in the next video I will discuss encapsulation in detail, polymorphism, and abstractions. All right, so that's all for today. I'm sorry I make it a little complicated, but you can try without constructor and just define the values here. Okay, and just practice, then later you can practice this way. All right, thank you so much. If you like this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe this YouTube channel whenever I upload a new video, so that you can get at least a notification. All right, thank you. If you have any question, please feel free to ask down the comment section. Okay, and feel free to throw any suggestion if you have any. Thank you so much. I can be reached boss@bossdevelopers.org in this Gmail address. Okay, actually, yeah, this is Gmail address. Okay, thank you so much. See you in the next tutorial.